What is up? We are back and black in the building. Man, we made it back another day. Man, we are back, black, melanated, and highly favored in this bitch. Man, what's going on, everybody, man? It's a crazy day. I guess you would say it's a better day than yesterday because you're closer to Friday. You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's what we'll say, but it's not really a good day when we seeing innocent black folk getting shot and killed with impunity. So shout out to everybody that's abreast on the story. I'm going to get into that in a minute. You already know who the fuck I am. I'm your boy, the gracious host, Warren G, and the place to be. Been clown and sucker free since 2003. And niggas can't finesse me. I'm sorry. Not me. Shout out to everybody at the Court Plantation right now. I know it's a nigga right now. Like, man, if this motherfucker say one more motherfucking word. So shout out to everybody out there that's keeping their composure and not reacting, but giving the dominant society a response. A response is no type of energy. We're not giving anything that is not constructive energy. So we're going to go with that. So shout out to everybody out there at the Court Plantation, making it do what it do. I'm always sending special shouts out to the Court Plantation because you know what? It's not fun working there, but that's something you got to do, you know, to live. You got to make money so you can take care of yourself, or you will be on Las Vegas Boulevard in Owens if you live in Las Vegas. In Las Vegas Boulevard in Owens, everybody know what it is. You either sleeping at the cemetery or you at the shade tree, nigga. You already know what it is. So shout out to everybody out there that is not finessing but handling business, getting up and taking your black stinking ass to work every day, because that shit is not fun. And we're going to get into it. It's a lot of shit to discuss, man. We're going to discuss this accidental death. You know, how do you accidentally just shoot somebody and kill somebody if you're in law enforcement? We're going to discuss how everybody thinking that crazy Joe Biden, 94 crime bill Joe, is going to change shit. But you see what he did? He was very evasive in that questioning, because, you know, motherfuckers started questioning his ass. So I just find it quite interesting that all these Joe Biden fans, where are they? Nobody is saying, hey, Joe, what the fuck is this? And it's so funny how the race soldier and the chief resigned. See, they didn't want to get fired, so they're just going to oh, my bad, I didn't mean to kill him, so let me back up. That's basically what they did. We're going to discuss all this, because this is the same thing as, how do you accidentally shoot and kill somebody? Isn't that what happened to Oscar Grant? He said he was going for his taser, but accidentally shot and killed him. So tell that to Oscar Grant's family. Tell it to Philando Castile's family, or Mike Brown's family, or Sandra Bland's family, or Walter Scott's family. Oh, my bad. Walter Scott, he meant to kill him. He shot him like 5 times in the back and then planted the gun there. But you want me to trust in this wicked system? Stop. So we're going to discuss that today. We're going to get right into it, man, because I'm telling you right now, it is very imperative that we wake up. Shout out to everybody out there that's studying and reading. I'm going to tell you right now, if you haven't read these books, I don't know what the fuck you're thinking about. Go read The Fall of America about the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. Go read that book. And if you are thinking about trusting and believing in this wickedly brilliant system that I would like to call the system of racism and white supremacy, the United States of America Incorporated, because the United States of America is a business. It's a corporation. If you don't believe me, go look it up. So before you get to talking and saying, man, this government is really going to do things to change things, I suggest you go read this book. It's called The Burglary. Go read it, by Betty Medgar. Very, very, very good book. Go ahead, get a good picture of that book right there, because that book right there is my Bible. I never take it off, because I often use references from that book, because it basically talks about how this system of racism and white supremacy has been running for so long, and everybody that's been placed in this position just keeps carrying out the same orders. So we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about a lot of things today, but that's definitely what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about how this relates to the Court Plantation and things that you need to do when you are leaving the house. You need to understand that your life is always in danger. Don't ever think when you leave the house that everything is all good, because it is not. We are also going to talk about how you need to look at people like Cheryl Underwood and how she kept her composure But guess what, Cheryl? They gonna come after your ass. Like I said it before a couple of podcasts ago. They gonna get your ass too. So you better walk with a tight rope because they will not just go off code and fire one of their own willingly without looking at your black ass. Please believe it. Let's get into it. Hey. Man. Did y'all see this article in the news? Kim Potter, you race soldier murderer who knew what you was doing. I don't believe for 1 second. You can say, I'm going to tell you knew what you was doing. Stop. I don't believe a goddamn word you're saying. Because if you were innocent, then why didn't you just go to trial? You know why? Because you're going to be found guilty. Because you know now this is starting to become a problem. And didn't this happen not too far from George Floyd? And then you got the Derek Chauvin. Look, let me tell y'all something. Y'all think that what happened to George Floyd is going to stop these race soldiers from shooting and killing you with impunity? Y'all niggas done lost y'all motherfucking minds. This shit is not going to stop. It's just like working at the court plantation. They not going to listen to a goddamn word you say. I don't care how brilliant you are, how hard you work. If you are melanated and black, they don't give a flying fuck about what you're saying. Because to them, you are nothing and meaningless. To them. And if you even think for 1 second you can go out and work hard and that's going to show them that you're a good worker, they going to look at you and laugh and be like, look at this dumbass nigga working his ass off for nothing. We still don't give a fuck about what he's saying. And it's the same thing when you march, whine, and repeat and think that these people are going to pay any type of attention to you because you marching and you complaining, talking about, oh, well, the system's going to change, because we Democrats. Yeah, right. So as the Democrats, what they plan on doing to change? The Democrats don't even want to give you a black agenda, but they're going to change this system to benefit you. Stop. They'll never change this system to benefit melanated black folk. If you are foundational black American, they're not going to change the system to benefit you. If you LGBTQ, LMNOP, XYZ, and you a mammy or coon, they going to do whatever it takes to benefit you. Trust and believe me on this one. And if you don't believe me, just go out and look for yourself. Do the research. You don't have to believe shit Warren's saying. After all, this podcast is called No, I Don't Know. So I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't give a fuck about that bitch being a 26-year veteran. Well, apparently you ain't good at your skill set if you said you was reaching for your taser and you accidentally shot him. And then you go say, I shot him. Then the motherfucker was like, oh, well. That motherfucker was like, well, we tried. And then I'm tired of people talking about, well, if you just comply with the officers, then you won't get killed and they won't do those things because they got to protect and serve. Stop. If you are black, that's like telling a black person, all you got to do is just work hard and you can be all you want to be. Man, stop. You can't be all you can be. You can be all you can never be in the dominant white society. You're not Obama. You're not Michelle Obama. Those are hand-picked Negroes that are safe and will not be oppositional of the system, meaning help black folk. Because if that's the case, Obama would have tried to help black folk 10 years ago. The motherfucker was in office for 8 years, and all I've seen was a bunch of motherfuckers make up excuses for his ass. And he trying to act like he relatable, but his grandmother gave him $450,000. Now, my question to all you black folk that's out there, and anybody that's black is listening, when's the last time your grandmother gave you $450,000? Left you $450,000. I got one grandmother that passed away, and that bitch ain't leave me shit. I'll just tell you that right away. And I can tell you this, any grandmother that I have in life, they ain't gonna leave me shit either. And I'm not expecting them to leave me shit. So you go find me a black folk, any type of foundational black American whose grandmother gonna leave them $450,000. And then they come among you and act like they can understand where you come from. Please, how can you understand somebody left you $450,000 and your mother was white? It wasn't like she was raising you to be a strong black man. Stop. You are for the system, not against it. Because if you're against it, you will be trying to help foundational black Americans. And you would be talking about reparations and things that are needed, and owed to us. Stop allowing people to make you feel bad because you talk about reparations. But niggas is walking around here talking about, I'm going to tase you, bang. Oh, I think I just shot him. Well, how are you a 26-year veteran and you don't even know where your taser and shit at? How do you accidentally do that? That's like, so you just accidentally killed him. So my bad. And what do you say after that when you just accidentally kill somebody? My bad. Stop. So then it would be safe to say that Chris Donner just accidentally shot and killed those people too. Stop. You know why? Because people, I'm gonna tell you what I see from my perspective. The dominant white society is like, you didn't see that. That's not what happened. And most niggas like, that ain't what happened. You right. I didn't think about it like that. Because black folk, we going for the okie doke because a lot of niggas want butter biscuits and they want to get a pat on the head from the dominant society. So they'll just go along with whatever the fuck they say. It's called a conformist. A go along to get along. I'm just going to conform, acquiesce, build a need because maybe there's something in it for me. See, foundational black folk, we can't be individuals and then become a team when it no longer benefits us. No, you have to be a team first, which means you got to support black business. You got to look at those things. You notice you don't never see Chinese people fighting about who they gonna vote for because you never even really see them at the polls. Have you ever seen Koreans and Chinese people really in large groves at the polls? No, because they just put bread on those politician heads. I don't got time to be going to the polls and wait for you. Give us an agenda for Koreans and then we'll vote. That's why you got a Koreatown, an Italy town, a Vietnamese town, a Chinatown, a Latino town. And then when it's time for the black folk, it's like, well, you got the West Side if you live in Las Vegas. Well, the West Side, first of all, Mario's is not owned by a black person. It's owned by a Latino brother. Only thing that I can say that is owned by a foundational black American is, I think, Annie's on the West Side. Annie's Barbecue or Sweetie's Bar. I think it's Annie's Barbecue. Other than that, nothing is owned by a foundational black American. Where's the business at? And if they are, they on Jackson, they hidden. They not on the main streets like Lake Mead and MLK. Lake Mead and MLK, they got Panda Express, Jack in the Box, McDevils, Murder King. They got all that shit over there for you. But they ain't got shit. I feel like this. If a nigga gonna murder me, then give me some black barbecue from a black-owned business. God damn. Why I gotta take it from somewhere else? But, you know, we don't think that way because I think a lot of the times we just be like, it's all good. No, nigga, it's not all good. You can't just accidentally shoot somebody. That's crazy. Oh, my bad. And I'll play some of the audio because I think people gotta understand, like, what do y'all think is gonna happen? All they gonna do is hit y'all with police reform. And then Dante, the young brother, Dante Wright, his family gonna sue. Here comes Lee Merritt and Ben Crump. You know they finna come out the woodwork. And Reverend Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton. It's gonna be the same ambulance chasers that's gonna come out and they gonna brokerage a deal between you and the dominant society, and then you gonna go on about your way. That's why they don't talk about Mike Brown no more. That's why they don't talk about Philando Castile no more. That's why they don't talk about Akai Gurley. That's why they don't talk about none of these people. Because once you get your money and see, there's probably hidden coded messages within that money that you get. You can't talk about the trial no more. You can't make waves about it. Once you take this money, you sign on this dotted line, you can't say shit. And that's why a lot of those family members, they don't come out and say shit. You know, Eric Gardner, look, come on, man. I can't breathe. And Officer Pantaleo was still on the force that whole time, collecting fucking bennies and a check and a pension the whole time. And nobody said shit. And then you be like, let a nigga kill somebody with impunity. Them motherfuckers gonna be like, guilty, nigga. But it wasn't even me. I was just with him. I don't give a fuck. You're a nigga and you were thinking about doing it. So guilty. But I wasn't even at work that day. Well, you were thinking about it and you're a nigga. So guilty, nigga. That's just how they feel. But when it comes to black folk trying to get justice from the dominant society, man, they start having selective memory. They don't know what the fuck is going on. That shit be tripping me the fuck out, man. I'd be like, God damn. That shit is crazy. They act like they don't know what the fuck is going on. I be dying laughing. Hey, let me see if I can find some audio because I'm very interested. And the chief of police resigned, of course, because they knew what the fuck was gonna happen. Hey, let's see what we can get. Let's see. I just ain't gonna play no commercials. We're not doing the commercials at all. I'm telling you, man, while this shit is loading up, I want to see. I'm very interested to see exactly where they gonna go from here. Because it's like, and stop going to white folks asking for their validation about if the officer was guilty. Stop doing that shit. Y'all know these motherfuckers don't give a fuck, so stop asking them. Stop getting upset when the motherfuckers thinking differently. Let's see. Oh, see, yeah, see, they not even playing nothing. See, and that's another thing I don't like. CNN is bogus for that shit too, man. They be doing a lot of bullshit, you know, acting like they gonna play actual coverage and footage of it, and then you click on it, it's like clickbait. And they just showing somebody just typing the shit. No, man, show me what the fuck is going on. Let's see. What's that bitch's name? That race soldier. Oh yeah, we gonna find the shit. Yeah, so let's go. Let's go.
Realtor.
Nah, we not playing no motherfucking commercials either, nigga. Fuck out of here. Don't do none of that shit. All right, here we go.
Around 2 p.m. local time Sunday, police pulled over Wright. The police chief says they stopped Dante Wright because he had an expired registration on his license plate. The released footage begins minutes into the stop and shows police walking up to the car, and then Wright is seen stepping out of his vehicle. Police then tried to take Wright into
But you notice, expired tags or expired registration. So you kill somebody for that? It ain't that deep. To me, I would be like, all right, look, man, you got expired tags. Look, we just gonna write you this ticket. You can go on about your way. What is all that about, man? Like, I don't get it. Like they did the brother Karan or whatever the fuck his name is. They did the black brother that was in the military. They did him the same way. Then the officer knew he was wrong. So then at the end, he's trying to brokerage a deal. Well, you know, we can ruin your career, but, you know, if you want to just let this go. What the fuck you mean let this go? No.
custody after discovering he has an outstanding warrant. The video shows Wright begins to resist as cuffs are placed on him and he gets back into the vehicle.
See? Taser.
I just shot him.
As I watched the video and listened.
I just shot him. And then it was a brother right there too. See? I think he's gonna get enough of fucking with these goddamn law enforcement agencies thinking that you protecting and serving. If you was protecting and serving, that bitch would have never shot him. Here, let me rewind this one more time so y'all can hear this shit. Y'all need to really listen to what the bitch said. Just listen.
Back into the vehicle.
As I watched the video and listened to the officer.
See? I just shot him. Because you don't even know what you're doing. And then where the other, for a traffic stop. Nah, he wasn't robbing no bank. The nigga wasn't raping nobody. He wasn't killing nobody. He wasn't stabbing nobody. A traffic stop. And you talking about taser. Oh, shit, I just shot him.
Commands, it is my belief that the officer had the intention to deploy their taser, but instead shot Mr. Wright with a single bullet. This appears to me.
And this is the chief. And this is in Minnesota. And this is, look, because they don't see, this is what y'all get for marching, whining, and repeating with people. Tell us what's being said when we're not in the room. I don't need you marching with me. I don't need you doing none of that clown ass shit. Fuck all that. Read these fucking books and figure out how you're going to establish a system of justice if you really want to be an ally. Fuck all this bullshit. You nigga want to march with you and then go kill people that look just like you the next day. Stop, man.
From what I viewed and the officer's reaction and distress immediately after, that this was an accidental discharge that resulted in the tragic death of Mr. Wright. The officer is currently on administrative leave.
Wright drove several blocks before hitting another vehicle, according to police. Police and medical personnel attempted life-saving measures following the crash.
Basically, let him die. Y'all let him die. They did the other brother that was in the, I forgot the brother's name. I did a podcast on him, and he was in his garage, just chilling in his garage. Somebody called the police on him, and the police rolled up and just dumped on him. And then the other police officers didn't render no aid. They just sitting there watching him die. You are in danger when you are in the presence of a fucking race soldier. You're in danger. And I don't care what racial group. I'm tired of everybody acting like other racial groups are not, do not have an anti-black, I would say, ill will or anti-black feelings when they pulling you over. Because a lot of motherfuckers don't like black folk. And then they go join the police department and they act like, oh, they cool with everybody. And then the majority of the motherfuckers they fuck with are niggas. Straight up.
but Wright died at the scene.
I heard the police officer come to the window.
Wright's mother, Kate.
Oh, oh, so this let's see how much attention this get. Let's see how much attention this get.
He told CNN affiliate Care TV she was on the phone with her son before the shooting. It's unclear to.
Oh, he must be a mixed brother. Dante Wright, that's definitely a mixed brother, because his mom seems like she's a Caucasian dominant society. So I'm very interested to see how this is gonna pan out. Cause to me, he's black. I don't give a fuck how much white he got in him. He's black.
CNN how Katie Wright knew police had hung up the phone. Protests erupted in a suburb outside Minneapolis in the aftermath of the shooting. Hundreds taking to the streets Sunday night, clashing with police. The National Guard was also.
Again, so you have George Floyd, and then you do it again. So what does that tell you? All you Democrats talking about Donald Trump was just evil and Joe 94 crime bill Biden is gonna save the fucking day. Where he at? I'm like Nas on Stillmatic when he had that song "The Bridge Is Over," and that nigga was like, "Where you be at, nigga? Niggas be in the hood busting. Where you be at? Where you at?" Kamala, Joe, where you at? We waiting to see when you gonna surface. And I don't want to hear no clown ass deflection. What are you gonna do to hold law enforcement accountable? Like, fuck defunding the police. Like, okay, we're gonna write this into policy. If you shoot and kill an unarmed black person, and it is determined that there was a racial bias, you will go to prison for 10 years. You will not be able to be a law enforcement, and you will be registered as what do they call that? When you commit a hate crime, you will have to register, and that will be be charged as a hate crime. And now you'll have to do Fed time too. And you'll lose your pension. Then motherfuckers will stop doing that shit. And I don't care how long you've been on the force. You forfeit your pension if you do that. Then motherfuckers will be like, man, fuck that. I'm not killing no niggas. Fuck that. Let them just get away. I'm not finna chase after no niggas and do that. But see, they get rewarded for this shit.
On the scene, the situation turned violent. Crowds marching toward the police department swarmed police cars and started destroying them. Police moved in to disperse the crowds. The chief of police also said bricks and frozen soda cans were thrown at officers, injuring one who was taken to the hospital.
See how they try to make you feel sorry for the dominant society, for the race soldiers? Niggas, stop.
And while one group stayed at the police department, a second group of protesters went to a strip mall where businesses were broken into and looted.
We recognize that this couldn't have happened at a worse time.
The city of Brooklyn Center.
We recognize, nigga, what? Man, this is crazy, man.
Is only about 10 miles from where former police officer Derek Chauvin is on trial for the killing of George Floyd. The chief of police says he released the footage to be transparent and became.
No, you released the footage because you knew you was gonna get pressure from your supervisors because people was about to be out there tripping. So you like, fuck it, we might as well release the footage. Or would you be like Rahm Emanuel, our Jewish friend that was a friend to the president that had that footage of Laquan McDonald being massacred on footage, and then y'all try to go everywhere and clean up the footage and hold it because you wanted to be reelected as mayor again. Man, please stop.
Emotional when I asked what was on his heart.
I'm the leader of this department. They expect me to lead.
Oh, don't stop it with the tears and shit, nigga. I don't want to hear that shit. This is Chief Tim Gannon, a.k.a. the chief of race soldiers, a.k.a. a defender of racism and white supremacy, a.k.a. the KKK. Nigga, stop.
Create a safe city. That's what I'm trying to do. So that's it. I hope you're not crying too. Okay. And yeah.
Did y'all hear that? It must have been a sister. Hold on, we gotta rewind this shit. Because the nigga act like he's about to start crying. And she like, I hope you not crying. Listen to this shit.
Transparent and became emotional when I asked what was on his heart.
I'm the leader of this department. They expect me to lead. Create a safe city. That's what I'm trying to do. So So that's it. I hope you're not crying too. Okay. And yeah, I'm emotional.
Somebody check the shit out of him. That's what y'all supposed to do. Don't let these people get in front of you and get to acting. Those are great. These are great thespians. This is the dominant society. As Nitty Fuller Jr. says, they are the masterminds of confusion. Y'all better go read the United Independent Compensatory Counter-Racist Code. Go get that book. I got to get it and start showing it because he says they are the masterminds behind confusion. So why the fuck would you sit up there and be like, oh, he crying, he feel bad. That nigga don't feel, he probably more mad that he going to have to resign. And now he going to have to go look for a job somewhere else. He don't give a fuck about no niggas getting killed.
The officer who shot Dante Wright, what is their status in the department? Are they still...
Oh, and this is Anderson Cooper with no mustache. A descendant of Cornelius Vanderbilt. A person that already has money, but acts like he's for the people. Okay, you for the people then, how many black businesses you support? Probably none. Because he don't give a fuck.
Active duty?
The officer who shot Dante Wright is on administrative leave, but members of the community are calling for her to be fired, and they're also asking, they say demanding, the chief of police in Brooklyn Center resign.
Wright's aunt spoke in an incredibly compelling interview with our colleague Don Lemon about her nephew, about what happened to him. Her words are nothing short of heartbreaking. Watch this.
Everybody's hurt. This is a young man that had life in front of him. He had a son. How can I explain that? I can't explain it. My family is hurt. You've seen his mother. And for 1 minute, y'all don't forget that my brother, he's there as well, his father. This is not a broken home.
Ooh, shout out to that sister. Because you got to put that shit out there. Because, see, what they want to put out there is that, oh, he's got a white mom and the father's a nigger and he's in jail. So, you know, that's why we had to shoot this kid because he's a mixed nigger. He's a mulatto nigger. And, you know, niggers, their dads are not around all the time, you know. So you got to put that out there because if not, that's what they were going to go with. Now they're finna try to muddy up the waters with Dante Wright and they're going to besmirch his name and they're going to defame him, and they're going to do a Trayvon Martin to him. That's what they're going to do, because that's what they did to Trayvon Martin and everybody else.
This is not a broken home. They've been together over 23 years. Over 23 years, they've been together. My brother has been there. Please do not disregard his feelings because my brother is in pain.
What went through your mind when you heard the police chief say that the officer fired the gun by mistake? She intended to use her taser.
You don't want to know. You really don't want to know what I felt.
Right or blue.
But I'm going to tell you like this.
West. And then next right.
You know the difference from a fully loaded pistol
right.
versus a stun gun.
Thank you. Thank you. Say that. See, that's what's really going on. You know the difference. And then you heard her. Oh, I think I shot him. What you mean? You think you shot him or what? What if it was a baby in the car? Like Philando Castile. The same shit.
You know the difference. And if you're a police officer, you should know that I seen that camera. I saw she held that gun out in front of her for a little while. You mean to tell me she didn't see it? But let me ask y'all something. How would y'all feel if y'all got the call that was your nephew, if that was your son, if that was your brother? How would y'all feel? And then to sit here and people are trying to drag my nephew's name through the dirt, it don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. He didn't deserve to die.
Thank
my
you.
nephew was a damn good kid. He loved his family and we loved him.
See, I like that. We need to start doing more. Stop all this praying and kumbaya and speaking in tongues, all this bullshit. And you need to say what it is. Look, man, don't try to dirty up his name either, because that's what y'all do. Y'all see, she's nice, because I'd be like, look, I'm telling you right now, you better not ever put the camera on me, because I'm going to be like, well, what y'all going to do? Are you going to edit what I'm saying now? Are you going to dirty up his name? Are you going to besmirch his name and say all these things? Because, you know, that's what the media tends to do when it comes to foundational black Americans. You know, we don't get a fair shake. We've never gotten a fair shake in 450 years. We can't even bring up reparations, and everybody gets selective memory and amnesia. But our so-called forefathers was dividing up a country they didn't even build. They dividing up land and acres and stuff. They weren't even thinking about no black folk. Oh, my bad. The 40 acres and a mule. Well, what happened to that? And people wonder why most foundational black Americans and black folk in general, I'm not talking about coons and sambos, black folks in general be looking at every other racial group upside their motherfucking head. Because they be like, bro, what the fuck is you on, man? And playing games. That's why most black folk are quiet, keep to themselves. They're very introverted, and they don't have shit to say to nobody. Because they're not trying to lose their employment. They're not trying to lose their corporate plantation job because that's what they're using to pay their bills. It's a fact.
Accident? No, come on now. Everybody in this world saw that gun. You mean to tell me you thought it was a taser? I've owned over a 20,000 volt taser. They don't feel nothing like a gun. Nothing like a gun. So y'all tell me, how would y'all feel if y'all got that call? That was my nephew. That was my blood. That was like my heart. My brother is my heart. Katie is my heart. They took my man's life from him. My great-nephew has to now grow up, not even knowing, not even being able to touch his father. You tell me, is it all right to take somebody's life over a misdemeanor warrant just for some weed? You got these politicians out here smoking weed.
See, they about to cut her off because she about to start throwing everybody under the bus. That's what you're supposed to do. I'll throw them all under the bus. What happened to Matt Gaetz? Matt Gaetz or Getz or whatever it is. He's got trafficking, sexual trafficking, and misconduct with minors and shit. But motherfuckers ain't talking about him. What about Harvey Weinstein? What about Ghislaine Maxwell? What about Bill Clinton? What about all these people? But y'all over here, what about all those politicians that were illegally trading, insider trading, because they knew the economy was getting ready to tank because of the goddamn coronavirus? And what they do? They got slaps on the wrist. You don't even hear about these congressmen and shit now. You don't even know where they at. You don't even know where they at, but you know what? Hey, you got a warrant, so we're going to go ahead and kill you.
They ain't dead. You got all these people that just shot up the man that killed them Asian women. May they rest in soul. May they rest in peace. You got the people at the grocery store. You got the people in Bryan, Texas.
And that's right. That white man went and shot up all them Asian people. You notice they ain't talking about him? You notice that? I don't notice that. But you want to tell me that black folk ain't... Look, black folk are not only public enemy number one in outside of the corporate plantation, but you are on the inside of the corporate plantation. You are public enemy number one. Period. Get in there and get the fuck out. Don't be trying to outwork everybody. Go ahead and outwork everybody. All you telling me is you are a better slave than the next nigga. And then when they start piling more shit on you, now you are frustrated, you pissed off, you don't know what the fuck is going on. That's what got me to work, because that's what got me to start reading and starting to have a self-reflection, because I'm like, you have this mentality like, well, man, I've given everything and it's still not enough, because that's the trick that they play on foundational black Americans. They know you built the country, but they don't give a fuck about that. They know that black folk get offended when we are being called lazy. So they know that's a trigger for most black folk, so they put that misnomer out there and then have you on some sucker shit trying to replace that misnomer with, no, we work hard. Man, fuck that, man. While all the other racial groups are sitting around eating popcorn, watching you kill yourself and outwork everybody else, and all they gonna do is laugh at you. And they ain't gonna have no stress off their back, because they gonna go home and sleep and chill while you up all night pissed off and high blood pressure and some more shit, because you trying to outwork everybody to prove to these people that you a good worker because you black. Man, fuck them, man. Sucker shit.
You mean to tell me all three of them is still living, but my nephew is dead? Because now they want to use the justification of it was a mistake. You don't mistake a stun gun from a gun. You don't mistake that. If I made a mistake like that, I'll be in the jail cell. They'll be trying to put me under it.
Yep.
This not fair. We got several police officers and all in our family. I don't have nothing bad to say about them, but what I got to say is she needs to pay for what she did to my family. My family's blood is on their hands. My brother and my sister is hurting.
But I'll tell you this. You know, and she should be emotional, and I understand that. But that's when I wish somebody else would have took over and been like, let me get the phone. What this is this is a system of racism, white supremacy. And if no one is trying to establish a system of justice, then just leave us alone. We don't want you marching. We don't want no repeating. We want to establish a system of justice. Meaning, the person that needs the most help gets the most constructive help, which means black folk. We built the country from scratch. So there is a repayment that is due. And this being killed with impunity because a traffic warrant or you got some weed, and it's like, come on. So this brother had a weed warrant or traffic warrant, but Joe Biden's son was busted smoking crack and did an interview about it. He ain't in jail. He went to rehab. That young brother is dead, but Joe Biden's son went to rehab and was a straight dope fiend. Not no weed, smoking crack. Not cocaine, but crack. Let's just remember that.
How do we put life back together after this? Some people say, oh, it's God's plan. That was not God's plan.
Okay.
There's no peace in this.
Yeah, that wasn't God's plan. Stop that. You better. I'm putting this out there right now. We have to draw upon the spirit of Jean-Jacques Dessalines, Ogun and Jean-Jacques Dessalines and Dirty Bookman and Mackendall. Go watch the 1804. Go watch the Haitian Revolution. You better go get Tariq Nasheed's DVDs. For real, for real. Go get 1804. Go get that shit and draw up on that power, because I'm going to tell you. Jean-Jacques Dessalines was like, oh, you kill 5,000 of my men, we'll kill 10,000 of your men. Fuck y'all. I'm killing them all like OJ. And that's why Haiti, they can't stand Haiti. And if you notice, they don't ever want to talk about, why am I just now learning about Jean-Jacques Dessalines and Dirty Bookman and Mackendall? That's why Mackendall was like, no, nigga, we got to kill the coons first. These niggas on some bullshit. Dirty Bookman is like, look, this is the prayer we're going to use, because this prayer, you need to replace the image of the white man's God, because their God asked them to commit crimes against us. So I know we're not praising the same God. There's no way. How could we be praying to the same God? Because their God, why would their God ask them to commit crimes against us? This is the shit you got to think about. Go catch up on Dirty Bookman. Go catch up on Mackendall and Jean-Jacques Dessalines. Read the book They Came Before the Mayflower. Very, very good book.
His name. Keep saying his name. My nephew did not deserve this. Dante Wright did not deserve this. Katie Wright, Aubrey Wright, they did not deserve this.
Joining us now, CNN law enforcement analyst Charles Ramsey and CNN legal analyst Joey Jackson.
Sambo, let's hear what he got to say. He got makeup on. This nigga look like one of the Jacksons.
Chief, what do you say to that? I mean, what do you say to Naisha Wright, who says, my nephew, Dante Wright, did not deserve this? What do you say to that anguish, to that exhaustion we're hearing from her?
There is nothing you can say that'll make up for the pain and the loss that she feels right now. Absolutely nothing you can say. I've taken a hard look at the video to see exactly what took place. And she's right. I mean, there is a difference between a handgun and a taser.
They know that. The police know that there's a difference between a stun gun and a handgun. That's what they did with Oscar Grant. That's what they did with Oscar Grant. That dude did 12 months in jail and got out. And I think Oscar Grant's family got $1 million or some shit like that.
Assuming they're using the model taser, not just in the weight and the size of it, but also the taser, which is a conducted electrical device, has a yellow, bright yellow handle on it. And when you look at the tape, you'll see one of the officers on their weak side. You see this flash of yellow. That's their taser. Again, another way to distinguish that.
Yeah, but see, see, this is what I don't like about media. You know, they're trying to give you a perspective we already know. We know there's a difference between a handgun and a damn taser. We know that. So you telling us that, you just wasting time and babbling. Like, and you just bumping your gums about shit that really, the question is, what do you say to someone what do you say? No, you don't say anything. What he should have said was, no, law enforcement, we got to start holding each other accountable too. We can't just be turning people loose out there. I don't care if you are a veteran. You need to just because you're a veteran don't mean you don't need to be retrained. So I don't give a fuck about none of that. That's what they need to be saying. But they're not going to say that because it's called being on code.
From the handgun. But there were some tactical errors that were made in this, which I can get into if you would like. But there is absolutely nothing you can say that will lessen the pain that she feels and also that community.
Joey Jackson, why on earth was he even taken out of the car, told to get out of the car? I mean, the details that we know now for expired tags that the police chief of Brooklyn Center admitted yesterday in the press conference he and his staff knew there was a 2 or 3 month delay in getting those tags.
So what? Because he's a nigga. That's why, because of racism, white supremacy. And now y'all grasping for straws because y'all don't even know what excuses to come up with. It'll still be some Sambos and some coons. Well, if he would have just complied, then that would have never happened. That's Sambo bullshit and mammy talk.
From the DMV, even if you'd already bought them because of COVID. Guess what happened to me when I got pulled over for expired tags, right? It's unbelievable that this aggressive tactic was taken from the beginning for that.
Yeah, it really is. Good morning, Poppy, John, and Chief Ramsey. Listen, I think the answer to your question lies in something we call discretion. And when you're on the street and you're doing your job, it's important that you exercise that discretion in a way that favors life, in a way that values.
Nah, see, this is all bullshit. See, this is what y'all need to understand, man. These motherfuckers is not going to get to the point of holding some accountable. You see, even when that white lady was talking, well, I had expired shit, and guess what happened? Basically, none of that shit happened to me. Man, because that system is there to protect you against people like us, allegedly. And that same system carries on to the corporate plantation. That's why you see all the worker bees who are niggas, and then the people that are in charge are other racial groups, and then they report to, guess who? The dominant white society. And I don't care what nobody says. That is at every corporate plantation. They'll have the worker bees, which will be Latinos and black folk and Asians, and they'll put an Asian in charge and put a Latino in charge, you know, of a bunch of niggas, and everybody act like they cool. But guess what? All those other racial groups, they reflect the behavior of the dominant white society. It's just funny that other people don't understand that because they don't read. They don't do the research. I think they feel like all things are changing. No, it's not.
The sanctity of life. We've heard that testimony, right, just last week from the very chief who is in charge of that department, talking about the values of the department and what they should instill, talking about the work and the outreach they need to do to the community. And you look at that, and it's totally counter to that. And I think there has to be some recognition, Poppy, and understanding that at the end of the bullet is a person whose life had meaning, value, and significance. Dante Wright, a son, a brother, a nephew, a friend, so many things to so many. And so, you know, it's part of a whole larger discussion.
Yeah, and that discussion means this. You're niggas, we're not. This will blow over just like the rest. You guys need to retire because we don't feel like going through the bullshit. So just go ahead and retire, and we're going to move on. And eventually, they'll forget like they forgot about Philando, like they forgot about Oscar Grant, like they forgot about Mike Brown, like they forgot about Trayvon, like they forgot about Sandra Bland, like they forgot about Freddie Gray and Walter Scott and Alter Sterling. I didn't forget. I didn't forget at all. You know why I didn't forget? Let me tell you why I didn't forget. This book right here called The Burglary. If you read this book and it talks about J. Edgar Hoover and all his illicit and ill-advised tactics to keep black folk behind the line and all the bullshit that he was doing and orchestrating assassinations like the assassination of Fred Hampton, and he used the Chicago Police Department to do it, and how he broke up the Black Panthers single-handedly. That was his goal. And then when they broke into his damn FBI building, that motherfucker didn't know what to do. And then that's when the records were released of COINTELPRO, the counterintelligence program against black folk, seeking to destroy the next black messiah. So while y'all thinking that this shit ain't real, go get the book, The Burglary. It talks about the people who broke into the FBI building and published those documents. Go get the book. Just like this book called Two Nations. It talks about affirmative action. The phrase was coined by the Kennedys. It's got a whole bunch of shit in here. And it was coined by them, and it breaks down a lot of the shit that was going on. You know, the book is a good book, but I would suggest, if you read that book, I would suggest you go read Black Labor White Wealth. He breaks all of that shit down. Look, y'all, we got to wake up and understand what the fuck is going on. Know who you're dealing with. R.I.P. to Dante Wright. We got to send positive reinforcement and energy to that family, because it's about to be fucked up for them. And when you are black and white America, know when you leave the house, you are in danger. And don't think that these people are your friends, because they are not your friends. The dominant society is not there to assist you. They are there to persecute you, to torture you, to mentally break you the fuck down, so that you will bend the knee, acquiesce, capitulate, and become a conformist and do what they want you to do. Remember that. Stay in your lane, not nobody else's. See, everybody want to worry about somebody else's lane. You got 24 hours in a day. So in your 24 hours, whatever you choose to do, that's on you. But I got to do what I need to do with my 24 hours. Shout out to Nick, Dom, and everybody, and Otis. Shout out to my niggas, man. Hey, man, I appreciate everybody listening. If you fuck with this channel, subscribe. If you don't, keep it moving, man. Hey, for anybody that's talking about if Dante Wright would have just complied, you a Sambo coon telling about the gun line, Haywood Shepherd, Steven from Django ass nigga, guilty nigga. I don't fuck with you, nigga. I'm out. Peace.